No, this is not a normal game. This is the game that at the beginning of the year everybody circles. This is the game that everybody looks forward to. And growing up as a kid, I never missed a Duke Carolina game, and tape recorded a lot of them back when DVR didn't exist. And I've been looking forward to this game ever since we beat Florida State.
You always said that
some of the earliest recognitions or games that you taped, and you remember?
I remembered Jeff Capel's shot pretty vividly. I had Wojo's senior day on tape, and I probably watched that second half about 20 times, and probably could just tell you right now like which plays happened when and how Duke got back in the game. It's just very vivid in my mind.
Do you watch any of the ones where Duke did win?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the one where we got just about blown out. That same year in '98, Jamison had about 35, and we came back, cut it to 4, and had the ball actually after Trajan hit a couple technical free throws, and we got blown back out. And obviously I've rewatched some of the ones that I played in where we've lost.
You grew up a Duke fan. Does that mean that you've never cheered for Carolina?
The one time I've cheered for Carolina, it's tough for me to admit this, but was in '93 when they played Michigan in the championship game. And the only reason I cheered was because George Lynch was from Roanoke, and I figured it was okay that one time because Duke had already lost to Cal that year for me to cheer for Carolina. So.
That's it, though.
That was it. Yeah.
RJ, how do you get Josh and Greg ready for the atmosphere they're going to face tomorrow?
Well, I think Josh and Greg have already played in some hostile environments. I don't think they're, maybe quite prepared for the Dean Dome and how big it is and how many fans are going to be there and how loud it can get. It's really, when that place gets rocking, there's nothing like it because there's so many people in there. But I think they'll be ready. They're experienced now. They played in 22 games. They're no longer freshmen.
Talk about when the place gets rocking. There's nothing like it. Much is made of your crowd, and rightfully so. What's it like to be a Duke player before the crowd at Chapel Hill?
It's very different from playing at Cameron. Here the whole crowd is just right on top of you. I can look at the top row and tell who it is. Is that my aunt or is that my cousin? I can't. Oh, it's my cousin. At Carolina, you can't see 10 rows up because it's so spread out. But the great thing about that is there's so many people in there and they're all wearing the same color. It's not a color I like necessarily, but it's fun to look at.
Kind of environment you thrive in and enjoy?
Well, I haven't had great games over there. They've all been close and they've all came down to the last play. So I'm looking forward to playing another classic Duke Carolina game.
You mentioned your games over there. Do you try to remember those, or you try to forget them? Like I know the second half last year didn't necessarily go the way you'd like it to.
Yeah, I didn't score in the second half, but I probably had 5 assists in that half and only took 4 shots, and we had a chance to win the game. We were up 9 or whatever with just a few minutes to go. So those are the things that I look at. My sophomore year when Chris hit that reverse layup, it's probably one of the most memorable wins I've had here at Duke. And I didn't necessarily play well, but it was just a great game.
Under what circumstances, if any, would depth become relevant in this game?
I think about as relevant as any other game. I guess, are they deep? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched them that much. I don't know. We haven't done scouting yet today, so I don't know. Obviously, we're going to play our rotation that we normally do and see what happens.
Speaking of that, you just said, are they deep? I don't know. This probably a function of the fact that this game is played on a Tuesday, earliest it's been ever. Everything, both things are equal for everybody. But is there any sense of I don't know if the word is uncertainty, unease, or whatever about having the schedule has broken down?
No,
not a lot of preparation time for anybody lately.
Yeah. I don't think there's any uneasiness about the schedule. We played at noon on Saturday, and the game's 9 on Tuesday, so that's plenty of time to recover and to get prepared. And we'll do our scouting today. We'll have meetings tonight, tomorrow, and we'll be more prepared for them.
JJ, after the game on Saturday, you need a little bit of help to kind of get rehydrated. Just that experience after 2 tough games in a week, did you reevaluate things? Were you worried? I mean, really, what was your reaction to being that spent?
Well, I wasn't worried at all. I mean, I think it was just a natural thing that I think anybody would go through. I played 40 minutes on Wednesday night in a very physical game. We got back at 4 something. I got back to my apartment at about 5 o'clock. I slept, and then I turned around. We play a noon game on Saturday where I don't really eat a whole meal. I don't have a lot of time to hydrate myself during that day. And then I played 43 minutes in a very physical game in a hot gym. So I think it's natural that you would get dehydrated in a situation like that.
But it wasn't cause for worry, like, am I playing so many minutes?
No. No, I mean, I woke up Sunday and, I feel like I could have played that day.
You're a historian. Other than maybe your friend Adam, do you remember a player having a year like you're having, scoring so much for a team that's successful?
Not the amount of points. I can't really remember. I guess the one guy that comes to mind is Glenn Robinson from Purdue. He had an incredible year in '94, I believe, and it actually ended up meeting Duke. And I remember watching Purdue play that year, and I was always a big fan whenever he was on. But of course, when they played Duke, I was pulling for the Blue Devils in Grand Hill.
Okay, one more, guys.
What was your first taste of what this rivalry meant to the people in this state?
I can't really remember anything specific, but I think the fans take it, I don't want to say more seriously, but there's more hate involved between the two parties when it comes to the fans. With the players, there's a lot of respect for their program and their coaches and their guys, but certainly, there's a fine line between the Duke guys or the Duke fans and the Carolina fans.